All right. Likutei Moharan, Torah Zion, Ois Vav, V'zeh Perish. Ve'ele, like we started the Torah with Ve'ele Mishpatim. Ve'ele, what is Ve'ele? Kol Mokor Shenemar Ve'ele, that is Moisef. Zeh B'chinas Yosef. Ve'ele means that it adds something to it. So what are we adding? That's B'chinas Yosef. B'chinas Shmiras Abris, B'chinas Tzitzis. Yosef is Shmiras Abris, which we spoke about it, which is Tzitzis. Hamishpatim. So B'chinas Kula Zera Emes, K'mo Shkosa Mishpatei Hashem Emes, Shazoichel Atzas Tzadikim B'chinas Emes. B'chinas Mishpatim is all about justice, the laws. It's about Emes, which is the Emes over here, is the Eitz of Tzadikim, which is B'chinas of Emes. Asher Tosim Lifneim. The Bechinas Kat is Chaber by Emes. That's when everything gets together with Emes, which is the justice and Emes, Tzedek and Emes is all together. This is what he said, that he's gonna equate, he's gonna have the Isha together with the Ish, the women and men together, because they Ish v'Isha. That is Ish v'Isha, him b'schabras emin, Emes v'emunah. By mechaber ish ve'isha, which is the zivug, which is the nesian, the marriage is being mechaber emes and emuna. And this is where the geula comes from emuna. The more emuna we have, the quicker geula will be here. Right? He started off by saying, why is he saying ve'elam mishpatim mishtosim lifneim? He says that because Talmidim, students will learn the Torah, they're not going to understand it. So make sure you explain it to them in a way that they will be able to understand it. That's why he says, so he's explaining Al Pi Chassidus what does it mean. That's the Geula. He's Gala Kala Chachmas Kishochan Aruch. La'asid, Mashiach is going to come. There's going to be so much Chachma in the world. Mala Aretz Deya. Says Mala Aretz Deya is Hashem. That when Mashiach is going to come, is going to be tremendous amount of chachma in the world. And we see even now that the das in the world is huge. I mean, look at AI, look at all these things. I mean, you can tip of your finger, you can know exactly what you want, anything. You can know anything in the world. You don't need to be the das is in the streets. Oh, look at that. Welcome, my brother Yossi. He's like, it looks like he's sitting in the same office as Ben sat yesterday in. All right. Until here is the actual lashon of Rabbi Nachman on the Torah, and over here, from here on, Rabbi Nosson added. There's a bunch of the whole Likutei Moharan is either exact lashon of Rabbi Nachman, or Torahs that Rabbi Nosson wrote down, or Rabbi Nachman had to approve it, or stuff that Rabbi Nosson added on later. So he says, these lessons over here actually belongs to the previous lesson. So it's like it's the same concepts. So he starts at Tefillah hu b'china emunah. B'chinas emunah. Tefillah is b'chinas emunah. Hu b'chinas nisim. Right? Emunah is believing in nisim. K'nes l'mala m'teva. Nes is above teva. But is that tzorach emunah? And in order to a nes should happen, we need to believe that it could happen. If we don't believe that it can happen, usually it's not going to happen unless Hashem really wants it to happen. He's like, it's going to happen. But we need a srusa de lasata. We need something from down here to evoke the nes, and that's amunah. Tefillah is mesugul to remember, from memory. Why? Tefillah b'chinas emunah kanal. Tefillah is emunah. B'shikha hu inyan shehoy lefanenu dvar ma v'nishkech ba'avar me'atoni. Right? What's shikha? Something that we had before, but we forgot about it. It's not here anymore. And v'hi derech hanhaga pi mereches hamazalas. If you want to go api the mazalas, the mazel, right? The system in the world, Then there's shikha, because in the world there's shikha. In the world there's that's hapech amunah. But if you believe that Hashem creates every day something, it's new, it's fresh in the way Hashem wants. It's not that because yesterday there was a sun, that you'll have a sun today. No, that's tava. That's the opposite of amunah. Hashem creates every second the world anew. So which means nothing, because of yesterday had nothing to do with today. Everything is new, and if Hashem decides today there's going to be no sun, there's going to be no sun. When Hashem creates everything from new, then everything is created the way He wants it. Then there's no teva, and when there's no teva, there's no shikha, there's no memory loss, because we're above that. Ma'ata says Tira neflos b'divrei Rabbi Zechron Baruch. Now you can see, he says in Masechta Shabbos that mem v'samach shebaluchas v'neso yo'amden, right? Because we know the luchas were etched in through and through, and the mem and the samach has nothing holding it. So how were they etched into the luchas? So we know it was a nes. It was hovering in mid-air. He says kimas. Mem samach, that's beginning of shikha. That's the concept of shikha. That's where shikha comes from. He says, "He says in Masechtas Chagig in Gemara, ein doima shoyne pirkum mei pa'amim l'mei pa'am ve'echad." He says that if you learn 100 times, you can still forget. But if you learn 101 times, then you're not going to forget. Why? Ki mas mem samach b'gematria meya. 40 and 60 is gematria 100. He says, "Va'ad meya until 100 shoylet sar shikha." The sar of memory loss is still shoylet until 100. Once you reach 101, then the sar shikha has no power over it. V'zeh tikach gemeinsam v'roch mem v'samach hayne mas shu beginnes shikha benes al yamden ki nes, right? The mem and samach and luchas, it was a tremendous nes that it was hovering. Ki ne, what's nes? Like we said before, is hafech shikha. Nes is the opposite of shikha. Because shikha is teva, nes is above teva. Ki nisimem beginnes at tefillah, beginnes amunah, she hafech shikha kanal. But now he's adding a bunch of different, we finished the Torah of Zion, but now he's adding a bunch of different nuggets. But ki tzitzis shmir l'niyav. We know, as we spoke in this story before, that tzitzis is a shmir l'niyav. Al shchem shneim zeh b'chinas tzitzis, right? When it says that it was on their shoulders, the clothing, that's the b'chinas of tzitzis. And that's what Yaakov Avinu told Yosef, Haine beginnes tzitzis kanal, she shmira l'niyav. Tzitzis is a shmira for niyav. V'hu beginnes shmira sabris. Niyav is shmira sabris. Beginnes shmira. He beginnes Yosef. Yosef, we know, was the ultimate shmira sabris. Al kein Omer Yaakov Yosef. That's what Yaakov said to Yosef. Le'echech l'roim b'shchem. Shehu beginnes shalcha. This is your concept, the roim b'shchem. The shmir sabris, he says, go out to them and protect them, or be with them, and make sure that they have the shmira. They have the shmira of Yosef. It says that you planted a seed. You planted a true seed. Seirek. So what's that seed? The seed is to be mekabel, the drops of the seichel from the tzaddik, called the eitish and mekabel mimenu, through the eitish that we're getting from the tzaddik. V'zeh soirek. Soirek is the same letters as a shuruk. The beginning shuruk. Shehu plus tippin. Right? That's the three tippin, the three drops. That's the three moichin. The three moichin, three tippin, is one moich. Ki a tippa, the drop, bama moich, it comes from the moich. In magia lakloyes, it goes through the kidneys, which we said shehin klei ha'eloda. That's the reproductive organ. Shemavashlin azera, that prepares the zera. Same thing as a seichel. Seichel noilad gam kein ba moich. And magia ada kloyes yatzes. A seichel also comes from the moich, and it goes through the through the kidneys to give us the right eitzes. This is how the Eitzah from the tzaddik comes about. Itlas moichin. What does it mean, tlas moichin? It says it's bechinas hashmin leiv, oznav ve'enav, which means pen yira be'enav, you're going to see with your eyes, but oznav yishma, you're going to hear with your ears, elavav yavim v'shav, and with your heart, you'll understand and you'll return to Hashem. Kloimer, she'ein roitz ledabek atzmei latzadikim pen yira. He doesn't want to connect to the tzaddik because he's afraid that he's going to do tshuva. Aval, when you connect it to the tzaddik and you take the eitzah from him, then it's a beginner of getting the advice from the tzaddik's kidneys, shem klei ha'loda, which is the reproductive organ. So it means that when the tzaddik gives you the eitzah, it went through that process of going from the seichel, from the moyach to the seichel to the kloyos, into you able to hear it and understand it. For us, in that, that's how that's the class tip in the class moichin, that you're gonna see it, hear it, and understand it. And then you're gonna do tshuva. Says that's when the tzaddik is gonna plant that seed, which is the tipas hamoich from the tzaddik is gonna come into the three different moichin into you. That's you're gonna have zera emes, which is gonna be a good eitzah for you, and you'll have Siyata Deshmaya with this. This is what Rav Achuna says. It says the story that that he went with this merchant, the Perish Rasha, Yishmael. Whenever it says that there was a soicher, there's a merchant, a businessman, it means Yishmael. It means a Yishmael. Yishmael begins at tefillah. Yishmael begins at tefillah. Shama Hashem el Oniach. Right. The name Yishmael is that Hashem listened to her pain. In the Targum says, "Arei kabel Hashem yasloiseh," but Hashem accepted the prayer, the davening. So we see Yishmael is the beginners of davening. So that he saw that. The story of Rabbi Bachana, he saw that soicher, which is the davening. He connected the davening, and that's emunah. Davening is emunah. V'zeh soicher. So we know before that we said emunah is circles. It's an igul, right? It's something that's around. It circles that's emunah. Like it says, ve'emunaschu. He even has a tehillim for that. Ve'emunaschu sivav v'sechel. That emunah will encircle you. Says in Bruce, for Rasta Kunafechel ala Mosechel. Says you will cover spread out your clothing on your maidservant, on your shifcha. What does that mean? It says that's the tzitzis, the garment, the clothing, that's tzitzis the kedusha. Shem kanfei mitzvah, that's the kanfei of mitzvah, that's the corners of the mitzvah. Who shmiras abris? That shmiras abris. The beginners zevik the kedusha. The amosecha is zevik the kedusha. That with tzitzis you'll have shmiras abris, and that will bring you to zevik the kedusha. V'zeh sheshol Chagai Novi. Chagai Novi asked. There's a pasuk that he asked that someone is gonna carry around flesh from a carbon, and it's gonna touch bread. He wants to know if that bread becomes holy. So he says, "Heini yisa ish b'sar kodesh." A person carries around with him meat from a carbon, the knaf bigdoi in his clothes. V'naga b'knof alechem. So he explained that's just like a question over there that Haganovi had, but Reb Nosson explains it over here. Ki pegama bris heder halechem. It says by pegama bris is diminishes one's bread, which bread is parnasa. Like it says, that when a person will follow in that path of pagama bris and the search for isha zoina, that's then he's gonna go searching for a loaf of bread, v'havin, and understand. And he ends over it with the pasuk that this is the same pasuk on Yosef Atzadik, that this is part of the bracha that Yaakov gave Yosef. Is Vatesha ve'esen kashtoi misham roya even Yisrael Avohan ibnin, which is father and son, bechinas atfila Yaakov ibanav, which goes back that by being connected to Yosef, Yosef is Shmir Sabris, which that brings Emunah and Tefillah. It's all connected. Emunah and Tefillah, that in order to daven, you need to have Emunah. And in order to have Emunah, you need to have Shmir Sabris. And it's all interconnected. L'chaim, l'chaim. Finished. Oh, we didn't finish. We still have. Oh, one more. One more. Skula l'choyle. A Sgula for a choyle, leistakla al tzitzis, is to look at the tzitzis. Vasad b'pasuk hine bin for Yosef ba'alecho. Says that they told Yaakov that your son Yosef is coming. He called Eila Tevis meramaz al tzitzis. These words is meramaz on the tzitzis. They hine minyan hachguten v'acholyes v'akshurim, which is the tzitzis, the amount of strings and the knots and the loops, how much it has. Like the Pri Etz Chaim explains, B'shar tzitzis perik dalet bago ein sham v'zeh hine bincho Yosef v'alechu dahine b'chines tzitzis kanal al dezebes chadig Yisrael. It says that Yosef is coming to you, and in the Pri Etz Chaim explains why these Yosef in the words. I guess we're gonna have to check this out. Why in the words of this pasuk is meramas on tzitzis, but Yaakov understood. And remembered with the Hinich and Bir Yosef, the tzitzis is coming. That's how we raise Chazik Yisrael. With Chazik Yisrael, and through that we can say that we got a chizik, and with our chizik we can daven and have emunah and connect to Hashem and listen to the tzaddikim. And anytime we have questions, we should always ask the tzaddikim and be completely mavatul the tzaddikim and try to follow the eitzes, even if it's hard sometimes. Good Shabbos.
Shkoyach.